Hello, Honors Algebra. Mr. Lawrence here with a flipped lesson, and we're going to do a little reality check. We're going to see what you guys are retaining from this whole chapter because we're almost done with it, and we've got to make sure you're ready to take this assessment at the end of the chapter, which is coming up very, very quickly here. All right, here's two lines, a red line and a black line. I indicated points on the lines by using the highlighters. The yellow highlighted points are on the black line, and the blue ones are on the red line. Please write me the equations of both lines. You should have the video paused until you have both equations. If you're still watching, I assume you want to see what your solution is or what the solutions are. So here we go, the black one. The black one has a slope of, let me see here, up 1, 2, 3, and then right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the slope of the black line is 3/7. Y-intercept is 2. And so therefore the equation is y equals 3/7 x plus 2. And there we go. All right, the red line. Let's count the slope. I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then right 1, 2. All right, so the slope is -6 over +2, which is better said as -3. My y-intercept is also -3, just a coincidence. So y equals -3x minus 3. Okay, hopefully that doesn't screw you up too much, that the slope of the y-intercept ended up being the same number. They are not the same thing, they just happen to be the same number. All right, let's look at our next examples. Here I'm asking you on this problem, we'll call it problem 3, to write the equation of the line that passes through these 2 points. Okay, and then over here on the right-hand side, there's problems 1 and 2. You need to find the equations on the line parallel and perpendicular to this equation, and they pass through these points. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video, see what you can do with that. All right, I'm going to run through all 3 problems, so if you want to pause after each, if you want to do problem 3 and then watch my solution and then pause it and then go back and do problem 1, that's fine. I'm going to run through all 3 starting right now. All right, so first step is to find my slope, and then I do y sub 2 minus y sub 1, so I'm going to get 3 minus 4 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, which is 5 minus 3. That'll give me a -1/2. So now I know my slope. I'm going to use the equation y equals mx plus b. I'm going to fill in a y value, an m value, an x value, and solve for b. So I think I'm going to use 3, 4. 4 equals -1/2 times 3 plus b. Okay, sorry for the lost a little continuity there. My son just woke up and had to get him on the potty chair. But everything's going well. He's nice and dry and no accidents in the night. Too much information, I know. All right, here we have -1/2 plus b, right? Okay, 1/2 of 3 is 1/2, and it's -1/2 times 3. So now I'm going to add 1/2 to both sides. And I'm going to end up with 5/2 plus b. All right, y equals, where's my slope? -1/2 x plus a 5/2. And there you go. There's the equation. I could graph if I wanted to. All right. Over here on the right-hand side, looking for the parallel line. Again, if you haven't tried this one, pause it. My slope is found, since I'm in standard form, -a over b. Well, my slope is going to be -5 over -2, which is better said as 5 over 2. And those of you that like run away from fractions, always go to a decimal. you're going to find out that this problem is more difficult to do that way. I can do a lot of stuff in my head just because of my understanding of fractions, and the only way you're going to get that understanding is by practicing. All right, so the parallel line will have the same slope, right? So that would be 5 over 2. I have an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. I'm going to do the same thing I did in the last problem. I'm going to say 4 equals 5 over 2 times negative 10 plus b. 4 is going to equal, I'm going to simplify this way, get negative 25 plus b, adding 25 to both sides, b will equal 29. Now I can write my equation. Y equals, using the slope, 5 over 2 times x plus 29. And there we go. All right, scrolling down just a little bit. Ooh, doesn't look like I gave myself enough room. Okay, that's better. On this one, I know the original slope was 5 over 2. Here I have to find the perpendicular slope. So I'll use the negative reciprocal, negative 2/5. I have my x, I have my y, and so I write 4 equals negative 2/5 times negative 10 over 1 plus b. This is going to simplify to negative 2. I'm going to get 4 equals 4 plus b. Now, just common sense should tell you that b has got to be 0, but if you don't see that, I'll subtract 4 from each side, and I'll get b equals 0. Now that I have the slope and the y-intercept, I can write y equals negative 2/5 x, and I'm done. I didn't put the plus 0 on the end because it's unnecessary. I know that there's a 0 being added here, but I don't need to write it. This is the best answer because it's the simplest answer, especially since you're in honors algebra. Okay, we know how to graph from slope y-intercept form. Let me give you an equation like, say, y equals 3x minus 4. That's a real easy one. I'm just going to do it real quick. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. And that would produce the line that looks something like that. Right? That might be off just a hair. But, okay. What, though, happens if our equation looks like this? Oops, excuse me. Well, that's a horse of a different color because you do not know the slope or the y-intercept yet. How come? Because you don't know the y, excuse me, not because you don't know, but because the y is not alone. So I'm going to get the y alone. I'm going to divide by negative 3. So y is going to equal negative 2/3 x and a positive 4. So I can plot my points, y-intercept at 4. Then I'm going to go down to, right, 1, 2, 3, and down to 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm sorry, I do apologize. I was supposed to let you do that problem, and I did most of the work. A little break in continuity I had got me off track. For the next couple, I will let you do that. We're going to have the graph one in point slope form. Let's use the equation, let's see here, y minus 5 equals 1/3 times quantity of x plus 2. All right, you go ahead and pause the video, find the slope, and find a point that it goes through, the line goes through. All right, so the slope is 1/3. The point that it travels through is negative 2, positive 5. I plot negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. And then I rise 1 and run 1, 2, 3. I rise 1 and run 1, 2, 3. And there you go. Hopefully your graph matches mine. Something along those lines. Okay, standard form. Let me give you an equation in standard form. You go ahead and see if you can graph it according to the standard form shortcuts. If you're still watching, you already see my solution. I know the x-intercept is found by doing c divided by a. C is 6, a is 3. The x-intercept occurs at 2, right there. The y-intercept occurs at c over b, which will equal 6 over 2, or 3. Now I'm going to plot that one. Just hold on one second. My slope was found by doing the negative of a over b. Well, the negative of a is negative 3, b is 2, and so it's negative 3 over 2. Now here's why I didn't plot it. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And now I'm going to go back. 1, up and back. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And look at that. Where did I cross the y-axis? At the point 1, 2, 3. At the point 0, 3. And didn't I get my y-intercept to be 3? Okay, now it's not necessarily necessary to do all 3 parts. You can do 2 of the parts and have it work out pretty darn well. I just showed you that third one so they lined up. All right, let's see here. That was standard form. Now I've got 2 little word problems here for you. Go ahead and see if you can do those. A line with no slope is a vertical line, right? And I know that on a vertical line, the x-coordinate is always the same. So 2 6's on the line, 2 7's on the line, 2 1 is on the line. This is the equation, x equals 2. Too easy. Okay, on the second one, I have to write the equation line that passes through these 2 points. Hey, look at this. Mr. Lawrence was nice to you. What did he give you? He gave you the y-intercept. All you have to do is find the slope, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, and then write it in the form y equals mx plus b. All right, so I'm going to do 5 plus 2 over 4 minus 0. So you're going, wait, aren't you supposed to subtract? I did. 5 minus negative 2. Minus a negative 2 is the same as plus a positive 2. So my slope is going to be 7/4. And now I've got the slope, I've got the y-intercept. Y equals 7/4 x minus 2. And there you go. Piece of cake. All right, I think I have a couple more problems for you here. Solve for y. And I think that might be the last one. Yeah, you just go ahead and solve for y on those and the video will be over. Here come my solutions. First, I'm going to subtract 6x. Negative y equals negative 6x plus 10. Be careful. A lot of you like to lose that negative, and a lot of you like to write 6x minus 10. Just not true. The 6x is negative, the 10 is positive. Negative, positive. All right, and then I divide by negative 1. I divide by negative 1. I divide by negative 1. Y equals 6x minus 10, and I'm good to go. All right, this one's a little bit less work. The y's almost alone. I'll divide by negative 3 in all 3 places. And when I do that, I will get y equals negative 5/3 x minus 4, and there it is. All right, Mr. Lawrence signing off. Good night, everybody.